Alright, this video is just going to do a couple more questions from sections 4.1 to 4.5. We got most of the way through it on the first video, but just want to finish up a few solve ones here. So the last one we did, this is the factor and solve process. So you break it apart, that's called factor. Set the parts to 0, that's called solve. So here is a solve the equation. Should be 2 answers when you're done. Pause the video, give it a shot. Alright, so we need 0 on one side. So we're going to minus 22 first before we factor. And then no GCF. And then this is hopefully the short factor where because of the x squared, we can just put x in x and then make it multiply to negative 22. So we need one negative and one positive, and then add up to negative 9. So again, you can make the big list if you want, but it should be negative 11 positive 2. Now that it's broken apart, we have this times this has to be 0. So either x minus 11, that factor could be 0, or x plus 2 could be 0. So add 11, that gives you one of the answers. Minus 2, that gives you the other answer. All right, so those are the two solutions. And if you're not sure come test day, you can always put them in and check. Like if we put in 11, 11 squared would be 121. 9 times 11 would be 99. So we could say if we do that, does it actually equal 22? And we can see that that should be okay. You could do the same thing for negative 2 if you wanted to check your answer. Right? So again, that first step is called factor. Okay, and then when it says solve, that's where you have to find the two answers. And I think I do take points off on that in the test. If it just says factor on the test and you solve it all the way, I'm going to take off points for not knowing what factor and solve mean. So hopefully that's clear at this point. All right, two more, I think. So give this one a question shot, factor and solve it. All right, so the trick is some students may think, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to do the long factor because this is a 4. But the key is to realize that this has a GCF, like 4 divides all of these evenly. So if it was factoring, I could just pull the 4 to the front. Or since this is a solve one, I'm just going to divide by 4 because you can do 0 divided by 4, and this side is just 0, right? And then it becomes a much simpler question. Now it's just x squared minus 7x plus 10. All right, and now we don't have to do long factor. That's kind of that's a good deal. Long factor, not my favorite, just because it takes a long time. But now we can just do the quick factor with x and x to get the x squared. And then it has to multiply to positive 10 and add up to negative 7. So we need two negative numbers. And I think minus 2 minus 5. Multiply to positive 10, add up to negative 7. Now that it's broke apart, set each part to 0. So x minus 2 to 0, x minus 5 equals 0. And so we get one answer of 2 and the other answer of 5. Two answers to our quadratics. So that was factor and solve. Again, the first part, factor, and then this part's the solve part. All right, last review question for you. Solve the equation using factoring. All right, so no GCF, right? There's nothing that evenly divides 16 and 81, and they don't both have x or something like that. But these are perfect square numbers, 16 and 81. So this can factor using the square minus square, where to get the 16x squared, I just need 4x and 4x. And to get negative 81, I need minus 9 and plus 9. Right? And then that'll make 0 in the middle, make it cancel out. Right? So once you've broke it here, now you can just set each part to 0. Okay, and solve it. So add 9, divide by 4, you get 2.25 or 9/4, however you want to do that. Minus 9 here, divide by 4, and you get negative 2.25. So two answers to this quadratic. All right, so that's it. Test will have the graphing stuff covered in the first video, and then factoring and solving covered in this video and part of that first video. Thank you for watching.